How do you deal with pain and hurt? Do you reveal it, conceal it, or transform it? Revealing your pain can sometimes invite more harm than healing.
It's a harsh reality, but there are those who find twisted satisfaction in witnessing others' suffering, even fueling it. This unsettling blend of sadism and envy, which can significantly impede personal growth, usually manifests in various spheres of our lives, be it in the workplace, within our social circles, or even among family. However, within you lies a remarkable source of strength, a hidden power waiting to be harnessed. The art of transforming vulnerabilities into unyielding power. In this video, we'll show you profound Stoic principles of Epicurus, the esteemed philosopher whose insights have withstood the test of time. But there's more. We invite you to actively participate in this interactive journey of self-discovery and personal growth. So, for the next crucial moments ahead, let's focus deeply on what's being shared, setting aside the usual daily distractions. Let's begin. You may love someone deeply, but you can't make them love you back. You may work hard for your goals, but you can't guarantee the outcome. You may care about the world, but you can't fix all its problems. How do you cope with the frustration, the disappointment, the anger? Epicetus, a sage of Stoicism, taught us a simple but powerful lesson. Focus on what you can control and accept what you can't. This is the key to mastering the art of not just concealing your Achilles heel, but transforming them into unyielding strength. Sometimes life can feel like a relentless storm. Think about those moments when everything seems to crumble, losing a job, for instance. It's easy to drown in despair. But what if that's your cue to chase the dream you've shelved? Stoicism isn't about denying pain. It's about finding strength in adversity. It's realizing that every setback is a setup for a comeback. You have the power to turn your vulnerabilities into victories. So when life hits hard, hit back harder. Isn't it thrilling to turn obstacles into stepping stones? Fulfilling your duty isn't just about ticking boxes or following a script laid out by others. It's about facing your vulnerabilities head-on, turning your Achilles heel into a foundation of strength. How often do we shy away from responsibilities, not because they're impossible, but because they challenge the very core of our fears and insecurities? Embracing duty means walking into the storm, not with blind optimism, but with a resolve that's grounded in reality. It's about loving fiercely, fighting for what's right, and sometimes letting go when it's the hardest thing to do. In this raw journey, you'll taste the bitterness of defeat and the sweetness of triumph. But above all, you'll discover the resilient power of your spirit. Life throws curveballs, and how we catch them writes our story. Epicurus understood this. He didn't just preach about choosing our responses, he lived it. Think about it. When life hits hard, do you crumble or rise? It's easy to play the victim, to sink into despair over a lost job, a failed relationship, or an unexpected setback. But here's the raw truth. These moments are not just obstacles. They're opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to learn, and to redefine who we are. They're the forge where our character is tested and strengthened. It's in these moments that we can turn weaknesses into strengths, transforming our Achilles heel into our armor. So when life knocks you down, ask yourself, will this defeat me, or will it be the fuel for my success? Remember, your life story isn't about what happens to you, but about how you rewrite the script with each challenge you face. Have you ever felt the weight of guilt like a relentless shadow trailing your every step? This is a game we often play, a maze with no exit. We blame others, we blame ourselves, and in doing so, we find deceptive comfort in avoiding the true challenge, taking responsibility without being shackled by guilt. It's a tough path, no doubt, where the temptation to resort to blame is a siren call hard to resist. But think about this. What if instead of being ensnared by guilt, we choose to face our actions head-on, accept them, and learn? The wisdom of Epicurus reminds us that guilt is a trap, a plague we should not let define us. It's not about finding faults, it's about finding solutions and growing stronger. You know how it feels when you're stuck in a room with someone who's just a cloud of negativity, sucking the life out of the air. It's like they've got this superpower to turn a good day into a gloomy one. But then there are those rare gems, the kind of people who light up the room just by being there. They make you laugh, push you to be better, and somehow, even on your worst day, they make everything seem all right. It's like they're the antidote to life's chaos. Choosing who you spend your time with isn't just about who's fun or who's not. It's about deciding whether you want to be dragged down or lifted up. So why settle for the energy vampires when you could be soaring with the stars? Remember, it's your journey, your rules. Choose allies who turn your weaknesses into strengths and watch how life transforms. Never felt the weight of longing for what you don't have, while the treasures you possess gather dust in the corner of your gratitude. Epicurus, the Stoic philosopher, challenges us to flip this script. He whispers a timeless truth. Real wealth isn't in the accumulation of things, but in the richness of a contented spirit. Think about it. How often do you truly savor the victories, small and grand, that you've already achieved? Instead of being ensnared in the trap of constant craving, what if you pause to acknowledge the abundance in your life? The journey to mastering Stoicism isn't about just hiding your vulnerabilities. It's about transforming them into unyielding strengths. It's a path lined with the realization that happiness doesn't wait at the end of a never-ending pursuit of more. It's here now and appreciating what is rather than lamenting what isn't. Imagine a world where your failures are your stepping stones, where every misstep is a chance to evolve, not just professionally, but at the core of your being. Epicurus, the Stoic sage, believed in embracing the label of a fool. Why? Because only when you're unafraid to fail, unashamed to falter, do you truly grow. True mastery isn't a lightning strike of genius. It's a relentless pursuit, a journey filled with errors that chisel away our imperfections. This path isn't easy. It's lined with frustration, self-doubt, and moments where giving up seems like the only option. But it's also where passion ignites, resilience builds, and real transformation happens. As Epicurus would say, it's not the spontaneous victory, but the hard-won battle that shapes us. So ask yourself, are you ready to fail brilliantly, to be seen as a fool, only to rise strong, stronger, wiser, more authentic? Because that's where true excellence lies, in the beautiful, messy process of becoming who you're meant to be. Absorbing the venom of others' hatred without letting it seep into your own heart is a true testament to strength. Why let the bitterness of another darken your spirit? Reflect on this. When someone directs hate towards you, isn't it often a reflection of their own inner turmoil? Acknowledge their struggle, but don't let it become yours. In mastering Stoic principles, we learn not just to shield ourselves from negative influences, but to transform them. This isn't about sugarcoating reality or denying the sting of malice. It's about recognizing that in the grand tapestry of life, every thread, dark or light, has its place. Your power lies in choosing how you weave these threads into your own story. Epicurus, the ancient philosopher, knew that life's tapestry is woven with threads of myriad dreams, not just one. Why limit ourselves to a single hope? Knowing the unpredictable nature of fate, he urged us to embrace a spectrum of aspirations, understanding that diversifying our dreams isn't a sign of indecision, but a strategy for resilience. When one dream falters, another can take flight, guiding us toward success in its many forms. This approach isn't about fearing failure, but rather about acknowledging our multifaceted potential. It's a lesson in transforming our vulnerabilities, our so-called Achilles' heels, into strengths that endure and evolve. Epicurus, the wise Stoic, knew that humility is a quiet yet potent force in our quest for knowledge. Picture this. You're on a journey, not just any journey, but one where every step you take is a step away from the loud, boastful pride of what you think you know. This path leads you to a realm where you realize you know very little, almost nothing. This realization isn't a defeat, it's a liberation. It's the moment you start seeing the world with the wonder and curiosity of a child, where every leaf, every raindrop holds a lesson, a story. Epicurus beckons us to this path, reminding us that the true essence of learning is not in accumulating facts, but in the humble acknowledgement of our ignorance. Here in this space of not knowing, emotions collide. You might feel a pang of fear, the sting of vulnerability, and yes, even a touch of excitement. It's in this emotional whirlwind that we truly begin to learn, unshackled from the chains of arrogance. Death lingers at life's end, a constant reminder that our time is fleeting. Epicurus, a beacon of Stoic wisdom, understood this well. He taught us to confront the inevitable with a clear eye, not to shrink from it in fear or ignorance. As we navigate the tumultuous seas of life, weighed down by the trivial and the transient, we often forget the weight of our own mortality. Our lives are a tapestry of moments, each thread woven with choices and actions, all culminating in the finality of death. Why then do we clutter our days with the pursuit of things that will not journey with us beyond life's shore? Our focus should be on the essence of living, the love we share, the wisdom we gather, and the strength we build from our vulnerabilities. If you've made it this far, it means you're ready for change. Drop a comment, Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for empowering content. Now let's dive deeper. Understanding the perils of fortune demands a deep dive into the human psyche, where the allure of wealth often masks a treacherous undercurrent. Wealth, a double-edged sword, not only attracts the insincere masquerading as friends, but also harbors the potential to warp our very essence. The transformation it brings can be unsettling, steering us away from our core values. The moment we grasp this coveted resource, we awaken to a new side of ourselves, one that we might not recognize or even like. This is the crucial juncture where the seeds of moral decay can take root, silently eroding our character. Epicurus, the great Stoic philosopher, warned us of such dangers. His teachings, timeless and profound, remind us that true wealth lies not in our bank accounts, but in the richness of our character. As we navigate life's turbulent waters, we must ask ourselves, will we let fortune dictate our values, or will we stand firm, anchored in the principles that define our true selves? The answer lies within, waiting to be discovered. It's a choice to prioritize what truly enriches your life. Picture yourself surrounded by luxury, every desire within arm's reach. Yet amidst this opulence, a question lingers. Does this abundance truly serve you, or does it demand your constant attention and energy? Wealth, as Epicurus wisely noted, is not a possession but a state of mind. By choosing simplicity, you liberate yourself from the relentless cycle of bills, loans, and the ever-ticking clock of credit card payments. The liberation isn't just financial. It's profound emotional, personal, and mental freedom. It's about finding richness in life's simple pleasures and understanding that true wealth lies in experiences, relationships, and self-awareness, not in material accumulation. As we delve deeper into the Stoic wisdom of Epicurus, remember, the pursuit of wealth is valid, but its true value lies not in its possession, but in its purpose and the simplicity it can bring to your life. 15. Be ready to accept the worst. Life's unpredictability can be overwhelming. Confronting life's uncertainties, we often find ourselves ensnared in a web of fears. For example, the dread of losing a job, the anxiety over a child's future, the heartache of a failing marriage, or the shadows of financial ruin. Each day, these fears morph, creating a relentless cycle of stress. Yet, in this turmoil, the wisdom of Epicurus offers a strikingly bold perspective. He challenges us to embrace the worst, to accept that these feared events have already transpired. What could be more daunting than that? It's a radical notion, but within it lies a profound truth. By confronting our darkest fears head-on, we forge a path through them. Our spirit, no longer shackled by the what-ifs, learns to navigate life's complexities with resilience and grace. Could embracing the worst truly be our gateway to inner peace? Epicurus thought so, urging us to face life's tempests not with resignation, but with the courage to believe in our ability to endure and overcome. Do you ever feel as if you are easily pulled around by the words and emotions of others? HSN. I'd comment, each disapproving glance tugging at your strings, dictating your emotions. Epicurus, in his profound wisdom, reminds us that in this theater of life, we have the choice to master our emotions. Why let someone else's negativity become the master key to your emotional state? Yes, its tough words can sting, attitudes can wound. But here's the raw truth. When you simmer in anger or wilt under criticism, you're handing over your power. You're saying, "Here, take control of my happiness." It's time to snatch back that key, not with resentment or bitterness, but with the understanding that your peace, your joy, is yours alone to govern. Epicurus doesn't sugarcoat it. It's a challenging path. But ask yourself, isn't the journey to reclaiming your emotional independence worth it? Isn't it time to cut those strings and dance to your own rhythm? Have you ever pondered the simplicity in this part of our anatomy, 2 ears and 1 mouth? It's no mere fluke of nature, but a deliberate nudge to cultivate the habit of listening to the stories, pains, and joys of those around us. Epicurus pointed this out when he said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening is more than a skill. It's a bridge to understanding. It's easy to add to the noise, but real strength lies in knowing when to be quiet, in choosing to be an empathetic ear to the world around us. By listening, we open doors to new perspectives, learn life's intricate lessons, and connect deeply. So before your next word, pause. Will it add value, or are you just filling the silence? Remember, life's richest lessons often come not from our own voice, but from the stories of others. Under the vast sky, imagine a life where your financial worries are a thing of the past. You are proactive in creating financial freedom, inner happiness, and true joy. Does this seem like a distant dream? But you should know that this dream can indeed become a reality. Today, we will immerse ourselves in the world of Stoic philosophy with 8 core principles guiding you on how to break free from the cycle of mundane thoughts. We will not only discuss the accumulation of wealth, but also building a rich, peaceful, and positively energetic soul. These principles are not just advice. They are the keys to unlocking a new world. By the end, because after watching it, the way you perceive your personal finances and your life will change significantly. So why should you listen? Listen because life is not just about existence, but about experiencing and savoring every moment. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This statement emphasizes an important point about financial status, wealth, and the psychology of individuals' happiness. Stoic philosophy has shown us that we should not associate wealth with happiness, as this is a profound perspective on life. Instead of focusing on accumulating material wealth, Stoic philosophy encourages us to seek happiness by developing virtue and personal ethics. According to Stoic philosophy, true happiness does not lie in the accumulation of material possessions, but in nurturing virtue. Virtue in Stoic philosophy is not just a noun, but a knowledge, a mindset, and an approach to life. It includes self-control, the ability to control emotions and behavior, courage in facing difficulties, fairness in evaluating situations, and the ability to use theory to shape our worldview. We are reminded that wealth is an external, unstable, and changeable aspect of life. This is not a necessary condition for experiencing true happiness. Instead, Stoics believe that virtue, living a meaningful and valuable life, is the exact element we need to experience happiness. Consider this. We have heard many stories of millionaires living in unhappiness and ordinary people leading happy lives. The amount of money in your bank account is not a reliable indicator of happiness. Instead, what matters is the depth of your character and the quality of your actions. Material possessions are often not sustainable. The joy they bring is temporary. Imagine you just bought a new mobile phone, and the excitement and happiness are overwhelming in your mind. However, after a few months of use, that phone becomes older, and the initial enthusiasm fades away. Life seems to always shift and change, and material possessions often cannot adapt to these changes. A new product may bring temporary joy, but then it becomes a part of daily life and is not enough to sustain happiness. This makes reevaluating the relationship between wealth and happiness more necessary than ever. Stoic philosophy not only helps us understand that we should not associate material wealth with happiness, but also creates a sense of gratitude for what we already have. When we learn to appreciate and cherish the positive aspects of life, we begin to realize that we are richer than we thought. It's important to recognize the actual worth of what we have, in addition to simply being grateful for it. Moreover, you can develop the ability to invest in relationships, experiences, and information to enhance the richness of the spirit. Along your journey through life, you will carry with you enduring riches, such as the information you gain, the experiences you gather, and the love you share. True prosperity, a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose in life, are all of these things taken together. On our journey, we ought to honor and investigate that treasure. In conclusion, the relationship between riches and happiness is seen entirely differently in Stoic philosophy. Developing virtue and leading an upright life are the paths to true happiness, instead of accumulating a large number of material belongings. This makes Stoic philosophy an invaluable motivation for our quest for happiness and real meaning in life. People are bothered not by objects, but by the perspective they hold about them. We carefully consider Epicurus's advice to not place blame on others and to navigate our path toward a better future that we choose for ourselves. Stoic philosophy offers a potent message about life's journey. If we want to see improvements in our general quality of life and financial circumstances, we need to take a stand in front of the mirror and examine ourselves. This is an alliance message of personal accountability and self-care. Imagine taking a voyage to a far-off island where you are the only captain steering the ship of your life. The only thing we can control is ourselves, but there are possibilities, difficulties, and barriers. It is suggested that we accept full responsibility for our life. So why accept accountability? Since it is the route to advancement and freedom. The wind and waves are beyond our control during a storm, but we do have influence over how we navigate our vessel. We have no control over the circumstances when faced with hardship, but we do have influence over how we respond to it. Individual accountability is a chance rather than a duty. It is the ability to design our life as we see fit, assume command of the ship, and sail forward. Refrain from allowing anyone or anything to take control of your life. Take control of your life and direct it in the direction you want. When faced with challenges, one of the most frequent mistakes people make is blaming other people or outside factors. This is viewed by Stoic philosophy as an indication of weakness and a loss of control. We choose to avoid taking responsibility by placing the blame elsewhere, on other people or on circumstances, instead of accepting responsibility and working to find a solution. Consider a scenario in which you compete in a sporting event, and the outcome is not what you had hoped for. At first, you could be disappointed and search for outside causes, such as inclement weather or an injury. Stoic philosophy, on the other hand, exhorts you to examine yourself. Even with the challenges, you can come to the realization that greater planning, more focused practice, or skill development could have produced better outcomes. In the end, the Stoic idea of the duality of control, which comprises things we can manage and things we cannot, is strongly tied to this principle. It's possible that we have no control over outside variables like the climate, other people's actions, or societal systems. But we are in charge of how we respond to and handle these things. We ought to concentrate on managing our thoughts, decisions, and behaviors rather than blaming the things we are unable to control. This enables us to exhibit self-determination and resist having outside forces control our life. According to Stoic philosophy, taking responsibility for oneself and embracing control over one's life allows one to live a meaningful and free life without placing blame on others. We take on constructive roles in our own lives and overcome every obstacle with courage. Let our thoughts turn to principle number 3 through a famous quote by Marcus Aurelius. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. This quote emphasizes Marcus Aurelius' view of focusing on self-awareness and personal virtue rather than seeking external approval. According to Stoic philosophy, our lives depend on ourselves, and true happiness comes from self-awareness and self-control. We should not live to meet the expectations of others, or seek their approval, because doing so makes us dependent on the opinions and judgments of others, putting us in a constant struggle against all the uncontrollable changes and fluctuations in life. We exist in a digital world where societal pressures constantly demand that we conform to and meet their expectations. Under this pressure, many people seem to be swept away and forced to live a life that doesn't express their true selves. All of this stems from the relentless effort to gain approval and acceptance from others. This mindset not only affects how we manage our finances and personal finances, but also drives us to chase after the lives of others. We often try to keep up with their lifestyle, possessions, and social status, often at the expense of our own financial well-being. Imagine a young person full of enthusiasm for the arts and passionate about writing books. However, due to societal pressures and family expectations, he gave up his dreams to pursue an undesired financial career. Instead of pursuing his own passion, he chose the path set by others, and this made him feel like he had lost an important part of himself. Piety often leads many people into debt or living beyond their means in an attempt to emulate the extravagance of others. The Stoic principle of independence advises us to stand firm against this temptation and focus on our own journey toward financial independence, like a nature always focusing on the bullseye to shoot accurately. But how to start living by these principles sincerely? First, understand yourself. Take the time to discover your values, goals, and personal dreams. You need to identify what truly matters to you and create a clear vision of your life's goals. Second, build plans based on personal values. Develop financial and life plans based on your values and goals rather than comparing yourself to others or meeting their expectations. Third, self-management and control. Stoicism encourages controlling your emotions and behaviors while accepting that there are things we cannot control. Focus on what can be controlled and embrace the changes that cannot be controlled. Additionally, always remember patience. Never forget that your journey is unique and the path to success is your own. Applying this principle is not always quick. It requires patience, perseverance, and self-exploration. When you stop living to please others, you not only gain control of your finances, but also of your life. Don't let societal pressure dictate your financial decisions. Pursue financial independence based on your values with patience and perseverance. Remember that this journey is yours, and you are not just a participant, but also your own unique competitor. By applying these principles, you will embark on a new journey of financial freedom and satisfaction, a profound transformation that brings significant changes to your life. We frequently experience anxiety and uneasiness when we hear the term risk. These innate feelings frequently prevent us from living up to our greatest potential. We prefer to shy away from problems and avoid dangers. But in order to evolve as individuals and achieve spiritual freedom, we must understand that the Stoic school of thought emphasizes the virtues of self-control, courage, and patience in daily living. This involves taking calculated and determined chances. If you are unsure of your own bravery, read the biographies of two well-known people that encourage anybody with the audacity to follow their aspirations. Facebook's creator and billionaire in technology Mark Zuckerberg once said, "Avoiding risks is the only way to guarantee failure in a world that is changing quickly." He made the bold decision to leave college early in order to work on the Facebook project, which has helped him become one of the most successful software entrepreneurs in the world. Or Musk. Elon Musk chose to focus on SpaceX and Tesla rather than following the safe route in the information technology industry after making millions of dollars from PayPal. Despite the fact that both businesses were close to going bankrupt, they finally prospered, demonstrating Musk's bravery. Great success resulted from this. Give this some thought for a bit. What distinguishes prosperous people from the general public? They have the guts to take chances. They bravely leave their comfort zones, welcome unpredictability, and take on obstacles head-on. They realize that it is by taking these chances that they will develop, gain knowledge, and get closer to success. What does this signify to you then? It's all about shifting how you view risk. Being brave does not imply total freedom from fear and anxiety. Rather, it's the capacity to take calculated chances without ever allowing fear to control your actions. You have to realize that nothing in life is permanent, and that you cannot have complete control over it. Steering clear of dangers is a loss of time and opportunity for personal growth. It's the same with our financial circumstances. When you take a chance and invest in a new venture, deciding to invest or conserve money rather than squander it on impulsive purchases or looking into alternative job paths, even though nothing goes exactly as planned, things could work out better than you anticipate. A key component of Stoic philosophy is learning from mistakes and difficulties. We learn and advance by overcoming obstacles. Every setback serves as a teaching moment, and every obstacle is a chance to grow. Overcoming these obstacles requires self-control and patience. Please note, though, that we do not advocate for careless behavior when we discuss taking chances. The Stoic school of thought encourages prudent and measured risk-taking. This calls for in-depth information, discernment, and a thorough comprehension of your own circumstance. This idea is consistent with our earlier teachings about self-awareness and lifelong learning, so always keep in mind that taking a chance might lead to growth and opportunity. Stoics hold that if we constantly remain in our comfort zones, we will never grow up and succeed. Taking calculated risks is a necessary component of living a fulfilling life. It will need courage, endurance, and self-control to face every obstacle head-on and grow from the experience. You'll get closer to both spiritual liberation and fulfilling achievement in life by doing this. Finances are an important aspect of life that we often overlook. But Stoic philosophy has given us a different perspective on this matter. We often hear that ignorance brings happiness, but when it comes to your finances, ignorance can lead to serious risks. Stoicism is a philosophy of life with a message about self-control, building a strong mindset, and deep awareness of life. This means that you need to understand your financial situation. When we start discussing applying Stoic philosophy to our financial lives, we open a door to a new world where the importance of awareness and attitude towards finances becomes clearer than ever. First and foremost, Stoic philosophy teaches us to have true awareness of our financial situation. Don't try to avoid or hide the truth about money, but open your heart to face it honestly. This not only involves counting the money in your bank account, but also understanding the source of income, managing expenses, and mastering the situation of debts. In a world where money is often put on a pedestal and counted, Stoic philosophy offers a different perspective in encouraging us to learn about our finances in the most genuine way. Imagine that looking at the money in your account is not just about counting it, but also about asking yourself questions about the origin of that money. Gain clear insight into your situation and exercise self-control to make wise decisions in managing personal finances. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy not only teaches us about self-control, but also about building connections with others through understanding and empathy. You will find yourself more sensitive to the emotions and needs of others, especially in difficult times. You can share experiences and learn from those going through similar situations. This not only creates a supportive environment, but also makes people feel that they are not alone in their financial struggle. Personal responsibility is also an important aspect. We must take responsibility for our lives and not blame external factors. This means that you are the manager of your financial life, and you have the right and responsibility to shape it positively. Finally, we are encouraged to live in full reality. Don't let yourself be fascinated by illusions or misconceptions about money. Instead, carefully evaluate the reality of our income, expenses, debts, savings, and investments. Remember that you are the manager of your personal finances. Pay attention and take responsibility for your money and use it as a tool to build the life of your dreams. Stop neglecting your finances and start treating them with the care and respect they deserve. Self-improvement and self-development are important concepts in Stoic philosophy. Well-known Stoic thinkers like Epicurus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius hold that cultivating the soul and growing the spirit are the roots to ultimate happiness. Consequently, sustaining a life that has meaning and purpose is intimately related to human development. However, what exactly does personal development involve? Stoic philosophy holds that growth on a personal level is not random. It is seen as a very significant obligation. It is advised that we devote time and energy to soul cultivation and the development of virtues. The purpose of life is to improve and deepen one's spirituality every day, rather than just to meet one's material requirements. Let's think of personal growth as an amazing adventure. It is more important to commit to continual learning and constant improvement than it is to pursue perfectionism. We ought not to put ourselves under the burden of perfection. Rather, we want to improve and become more moral. Every day is a brand new chance for us to cultivate moral qualities and better our spirits. Think of self-control as an additional facet of personal development. This entails using one's response capacity for personal development and exercising self-control to avoid getting caught up in flaws and unmanageable circumstances. We are able to overcome obstacles in life and expedite the process of personal development. Let's now examine a typical error that a lot of individuals make: the zone of comfort. We do not progress and encounter obstacles when we are in our comfort zone. It may be secure and tranquil, but it is also a place of aging and lack. However, the growth zone is where we face challenges and go on a lifetime learning journey. It is the place where our soul and spirit are developed and fortified. We run the risk of becoming outdated if we stop learning because the world is always evolving. Similar to how a shark needs to move in order to survive, we also need to always be learning new skills to stay competitive. With time and money constraints, you might wonder if these activities are really feasible. Recall that in Stoic philosophy, self-control is about choosing the correct decisions, not always the simplest ones. This could entail putting one's own growth ahead of extracurricular activities or frivolous spending. It's more crucial to make deliberate judgments that support your long-term objectives rather than making significant sacrifices. According to Stoic philosophy, having a meaningful and happy life requires not ignoring personal progress. It involves more than just enhancing one's knowledge and abilities. It also entails soul care and the growth of moral qualities. Personal development is a lifelong process of spiritual growth and maturation, rather than a final destination. Stop spending beyond your means. This may sound like a simple piece of advice, but you'd be surprised how often it gets overlooked. In an era of consumerism and advertising explosion, we are often put in a position where we feel like we need more than what we actually need. Advertisements often promise that owning a new product or service will bring happiness and satisfaction. This creates unnecessary pressure to shop and spend more, even when we don't have the financial capability to do so. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true happiness doesn't depend on owning many possessions or uncontrolled shopping. Instead, it stems from controlling ourselves and seeking happiness from within. When we stop spending beyond our means, we truly begin to practice this control by not letting our needs and desires exceed what we already have. So how do we practice this principle in our daily lives? It starts with distinguishing between our needs and desires. Basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing are essential for life, while desires like the latest tech gadgets or luxury fashion are not necessary must-haves. When we understand this difference, we become better at managing our finances. Modern life often puts us in a situation of uncontrolled shopping fueled by advertising and social influence. Stoic philosophy warns us about this futile consumer trap and advises us to stay away from it. Instead of shopping to feel happy, we should find happiness in connecting with loved ones, exploring personal interests, or experiencing the tranquility of simple living. Imagine that you have saved enough money to handle any unexpected expenses without feeling panicked. Imagine the freedom from the burden of debt and having enough financial resources to spend more time with family, explore new interests, or even start your own business. All of this is entirely possible when you live within your financial means. Finally, life is not just about owning many possessions, but also about having a prosperous and peaceful life. When we live within our financial means, we can create opportunities to pursue personal dreams, spend time with family and friends, and ensure financial security for the future. Stopping spending beyond your means is not just a wise financial decision, but also a way of life in accordance with Stoic philosophy to achieve self-control and contentment in life. By applying Stoic philosophy in personal financial management, we can build a prosperous, sustainable, and peaceful life. Finally, in principle number 8, we recognize that change is inevitable in life, but we often resist it. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept and embrace change, understand the temporary nature of life, and adjust accordingly. It is in this adaptability that we truly find a way to prosper. Consider this. Seasons change, tides rise and fall, the sun rises and sets, all indicating the inherently changing nature of life. Just like a river never stays the same, life continually evolves. In our journey, we need to learn to progress along with life rather than against the current. In the context of our financial well-being, this principle suggests that the economy is always changing. New industries emerge, while old ones become obsolete, interest rates fluctuate, and the job market undergoes transformations. Despite the challenges, don't resist change. Learn to navigate it. Resisting change in financial life can manifest in various ways. It could be refusing to accept that our career field is declining and not acquiring new skills. It might be maintaining an old investment strategy, even when it's not yielding good returns. Or it could be the fear of taking risks in new investment opportunities and thereby missing out on potential gains. The question here is, what do we need to do to resist change? Below are 4 pieces of advice from Stoic philosophy. First, we need to change our mindset. Understand that change can bring exciting opportunities and prosperity. Just as a caterpillar must undergo transformation to become a butterfly, change can open new doors. Second, educate yourself. Knowledge reduces fear and is the reason why we resist change. Stay updated on economic trends, investment opportunities, and the best practices in personal finance management.